Hello viewers, in this lecture I am going to start about variables. So we shall learn about the variables. So I'm opening my brackets code editor. Just wait for some seconds. It is opening. Yeah. Now I am resizing the brackets window. So one thing to note is that that you should know that the local server has already installed like this in the you may have installed in the C drive, and it should appear here like this. And you may also have already created a folder in this htdocs. The folder name should be any you like, but I have named it as PHP procedural. You may save any name that may be comfortable or easy for you. So I have this PHP procedural folder, which is empty, not empty. It has a test file that I created in the previous lecture. So in this video I am going to show you how to declare variables in PHP. So right click on it here and new files, and I give it name 1 underscore variables.php. So you may have already set up this project setting, and you may have typed this. So sorry, you may have typed this and done. So let's close it. It is a working file, so you can just simply click double click here, and then the file will appear here in the working area. This is the working area, and it is the area of this folder. So I'm going to close this working area because I don't need this test file. So I'm going to write down this variables.php. So I will simply make it okay. So let me first open and close PHP tags. So you may know that this is the opening PHP tag and this is the closing PHP tag. There are other ways to like I will show you. You can also write like this, but I don't suggest this because it is not valid in some of the servers, because some servers won't support this syntax. So there are other ways also, but let us continue with the this PHP this version. So we are going to learn about variables, and let me connect with the live preview so that we can see the results immediately after saving the file without needing to reload the page. Just wait till being loaded. So look here, the file is one variables.php. I have written one because it is the first lecture of our course. It is the starting point of coding. So I have written here one underscore variables.php. So if your live preview doesn't work for some region or due to any of the region, then you can simply go to this URL in your local computer in your browser, and you need to save here by pressing Ctrl S, and you need to go here and reload it so that you can see the output after saving. Without reloading you can't see the output. So if your live preview here doesn't work, then you can do this by copying this. Not copying, you can type this full URL in your browser, then you will see the output same as mine. So what is variable? So, and why should we learn it? You may be thinking that if you are new to programming. So variable is something, simply it is a name which stores a value. So let us see an example over here. A is equal to 10. So a is a variable, and note that the variable starting should be done with this $sign because it is a syntax for PHP variables, and its value is 10. So here 10 means it is a integer value. So according to mathematics, you may have known what integer is, and integer are all those numbers which may be positive or negative, both, and zero also. So here I assigned means I gave the value of a to 10. So in order to print this value in this screen over here, I simply will write here echo $a, semicolon. Semicolon is necessary because semicolon acts as a terminator of this instruction, this specific instruction of this line 5, and here it works as a terminator. This semicolon works as a terminator for the termination of line 3, the code written in line 3. $a is equal to 10 will be terminated here after semicolon. So we can write here anything, any other code like echo hello, then again semicolon. Semicolon acts as a terminator for one instruction. So this is one instruction, this is one instruction, this is one instruction, and the collection of all the instructions will be termed as a program. Means we may have heard that program is a set of instructions. So same is here. This is one instruction, this is one instruction, and it is one instruction. So let us remove this. Now save it, and I will see here 10. You may have already remembered that whenever I save this file, let me zoom in so that you can see it clearly, and whenever I save it, it automatically reloads the page because I have opened the live preview over here, and for any of the reason it doesn't open in your case, then you can simply write the whole URL in your browser. Let me show that. I'm opening Run by simply pressing Windows button and R together, and I will write here Chrome, and I'll press OK. Yeah, so let me type here localhost and PHP procedural, and this is my folder inside htdocs in my jam folder in C drive. So this folder might be different if you have saved the folder by giving different name. So in my case, the folder name is PHP procedural in my jam server. So my file name is one_barrel. So whenever I click enter, the same output will be seen here. Here is also 10, here is also 10. So in this case, you need to reload after saving. So let me minimize it, and again echo B, no B, A. Whenever I saved it, I pressed here Ctrl S. I didn't see the output over here because it is another Chrome window, and whenever I reload it, I get 10 over here. You may be thinking as why this 10, and why this second 10 is appearing just after this first output. I will say you about this. So let me close this window and let me go to the original. So now we may have known what how to store the values in a variable like this, and let me show you other values. And this is one integer value. We are storing integer value in a variable a, and we are just printing here so that we see the output over here. So let me show you how to print your name. Echo, my name is Sujal, and I have to put here semicolon. It is very important. Please don't forget, otherwise your code won't run. So whenever I click here, I see Sujal. So echo is simply a keyword. So you may be thinking, what is keyword? Keyword is a predefined word. Means echo has already defined meaning in this PHP, which is to display the output over here. You may know what output is. Output is simply when we write this code, this all codes, then this code's results are termed as output in computer programming. So keyword is a predefined. Well, let me remove all this and let me clean up this space. So here Sujal is string, meaning that here this integer was 10 and Sujal is string, and you may be thinking as what is string. So I wrote Sujal within double quotes. You may have noted this because anything, any alphabets should be written within single, like this single quotes, or like this double quotes. It is because they are string, and strings should be written like this. So this Sujal is a string. It is a string value. You can also do like this. Name is equal to Sujal and echo it. So I see Sujal Khatiwara over here. So you may be thinking why it is coming side by side. So I will concatenate it with a line break. You may have heard it while learning HTML that we should use BR tag to break the lines. So whenever we are echoing it, echoing simply means printing here. So we are just printing on the screen 3D print values at our code. So we see the output over here. Now to concatenate, concatenate is a fancy term which describes the way of joining. Now I put here one period sign, this full stop, and I put double inverted quotes, and I put here BR tag. Now I can see this a value of a is printed here, and after that I have put break. So break simply means it break the line, and all other outputs after 10 are gone below of it. It had all free space in this single line from right to left after 10, because I have put here BR tag. So I will also do the same for Y to give more space. So BR tag, let's see, I see here, and echo. So here now we have learned about two things. One is integer and one is string. So you may have noted that integer are the numeric values, I mean numbers which are negative, positive or 0. So I can also put here -1, it will give the output. I will also put here 0. I will also put any of the value and it will give me. So let's learn about more. So b is equal to 21.1 equal b. Now don't forget to give this br because the value will be displayed side by side. In this case it doesn't matter because this br tag will work, because after Sujal Khatiwara, my name, I have given br tag which will simply left this space, left this space, and it will give the output over here. So let's see. But I should give here, if I put another echo statement, I mean echo below. So for the later on I should give this. So what is this 21.1? So it is float. I mean 21.1 contains decimal. I mean it contains the values after decimal. You can also give any of the values. So 21.1 is a floating point numbers. It is simply called floating point numbers. So we are assigning a value to variable b and simply printing it. So you may have known that how values are stored in a variable and how they are printed on the screen and stuff like this. So you may have noted how strings are printed and how to concatenate, I mean how to join the strings with the line break, and you may have known what the integer variable is. Simply integer variable means numbers that are positive, negative or 0. So and the floating point means the numbers which contains decimals, and integer means anything written inside this double quotation marks. So we can write anything in double quotation marks, that is termed as string. So let us do something more. Let me give a variable name. A is equal to 12, b is equal to 13, and I have to sum these two. So $a plus $b, so equal sum. I can see the sum is 25. Yeah, that's 25. 13 plus 12 is 25. So one thing to be noted is that I have written a over here and also a over here. So and b over here and also b over here. So you may think, can we give the same variable names for different values? Of course yes, because PHP overrides the value, I mean the previous value. Here in this case a had 122 value, you can see it here, and again we are assigning a new value over here in line 14. So now the value of a becomes 12, and also in the case of b its value is 21.120, and in the line 15 we can see that the value has changed to 13. So now let's move ahead. How to join two or more strings, I mean how to give first name and last name into different variables and join them. So for that let us look. For first name I should write first name Sujal and last name is equal to Katiwara. So in order to print this, first let me line break it, otherwise the output that we are going to show for Sujal Katiwara will appear in the same line. So let me break it. So echo first name and period, you may also have known, so space over here, and again dot. Nothing matters if you give any of the spaces over here or here. I'm just giving it for the clean, good looking of the code. First name and last name. So let's see, Sujal Katiwara. Whenever I remove this, I will see this joined together, which I don't want. So for space, I need to type here double quotation marks and give a space. Space is simply a string. So you may have seen here, this is a string notation and we are giving here one space. So which results here when I save it. So now the things needed to be noted while naming the variables are given below. So you can see it. Just don't bother with these signs. I will discuss it in the next lecture. Just simply type it. One number. Variable's name must start with $, and variable's name must not start with numbers. We can't use special characters except underscore for naming variables. So these are some of the rules for naming variables. Like let's see some of them in practice. So I will override the value of a and give it a new value. A is equal to @ a is equal to Sujal. So whenever I save, it gives me an error. Don't bother that about this error, because it gave me error because I wrote $a, which is not valid. As I have mentioned over here, special characters are not allowed in variable's name, but underscore is allowed. Underscore, you can give underscore in front, back, anywhere. That is completely valid. And let's see another. Whenever I give not, it is also invalid. And as I have said that special characters are not valid for naming the variables. And whenever I give 1a, it will give me error, because 1 is number unexpected. It is unexpected means we are getting syntax error. It is not valid syntactically. So we should never try to give it. It will result error. So it is a valid. So variable names must start with $. So we have started here with $. And let's add another. Variable's name must variable names should be meaningful and short. So it should not be too long, because long variables are too difficult to handle and to remember also. And as we know that PHP variable names can be up to, I think, 2 GB, but we should not go like that silly way of giving names that much long. So let us see some PHP standards for naming variables. Standards are something that are made by the PHP team for better maintenance and compatibility, or the code, what to say, the code sustainability purpose. So we follow standards in order to maintain our code which can be extended and which is manageable, and which are followed by various developers in this world. Most of the developers in this world. So let me show you some of the things that we should care while naming the variables. So naming variables. So while naming the variables, we should start with use camel case. Camel case means simply when I write the word of the variable, like first, first, name, first name is equal to Sujal, and here in this case this F is capital and N is capital, because camel case means any words occurring in the name of variable should be capitalized. Its first letters be capitalized. So here I have done this. So we are following camel case. So it is the widely used naming convention for the variables, and there are others too. So I will be using mostly like this, and other are also I mostly use like this, first underscore name. So I can use like this also. It is also a valid approach. So I can simply print it first name. So let me give a break ahead so that it will break the line. So first name is Sujal, and Sujal was going over here. So when I put break over here, ahead of here, it was here, and when I break it, it simply was pushed down because of this break. So this much about variables, and you should practice by naming some of the variables you may like you may have your own hobby, and you may print it. You may print your name, you may print some values, you may edit like this, you may perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or any of these. And let's get continued with the course.